have 3 stereo pairs for this purpose, a mid-side setup consisting of 2 tube mics, an ORTF pair with SDC mics placed just a few inches above the floor, and a pair of ribbons in Blumlein. All setups are placed in the exact same spot in the room. This jazzy theme, the mid-side provides a complete sound of the guitar amp and drum combination that it could be used on its own. The ORTF pair has a much more dark sound with a wider stereo image and a more deep ambient sound. This could be a great addition to a close miking setup. The Blumlein is a unique sounding setup, either on its own or combined with a close mic, as it provides a very wide stereo image and a sense of motion for the sound as it travels through the room. As you hear, each setup has its own character and sonic signature regarding the way it captures the direct sound and the ambience of the room. Of course, the result is heavily dependent on the audio material itself, so let's move on to another example. Once again, the mid-side provides a complete recording without the need of any extra miking. In this example, the ORTF pair gives a very realistic and natural reproduction of our complete setup, ambient but still focused. The Blumlein pair sounds a bit confusing in this example. Maybe could work as a room pair for a close miking setup, but definitely not on its own. Regarding stereo imaging and ambience capturing, we could say that the mid-side setup provides a solid center but a narrow stereo image. The ORTF has a wide stereo imaging, and the Blumlein setup offers a completely different perspective in our sense of space. Although the results were pretty much the same for this example too, it was very interesting to listen to the Blumlein pair, as it was like we had a modulation effect on it, creating a unique sound with a constant movement around the speakers. Now let's listen to something completely different. This is a great room vibe from the mid-side pair. It could be used on its own, however, it lacks a bit of definition. Well, to be honest, I don't really like the way the ORTF captures the reggae theme. It's a bit muddy and very ambient for this kind of stuff. Well, the Blumlein is more interesting, but still I think it doesn't have the vibe that the certain style requires. As you can see, our perception of the room size changes dramatically, not only by the different miking setups, but also from the differences in the playing style and the different music genres. These two combined together can lead us to very useful and innovative ideas when it comes to stereo miking. Well, in this setup, the mid-side sounds kind of poor. The ORTF on the other hand sounds a bit too raw and resonant. The Blumlein sounds very interesting, and this once again will lead us to the conclusion that not every setup will work on everything, especially when we're talking about distant stereo pairs. Now let's move on to some more funky. a specific audio example, I do like all three setups, but for different reasons. The mid-side setup sounds straightforward, solid, and it could be used on its own. The ORTF provides a very nice ambience, very warm sound of the room, and the Blumlein has an instant 60s vibe, like listening to the theme of an old spy movie. So basically it's more what you actually need on a specific project and not what is considered to be best sounding, because simply there is not such a thing.